Alright guys, we've teamed up with Haiboxing for another instructional video here with the HBX Protector. Today we're going to be doing a shock upgrade. We're going to be doing front and rear shocks, switching the stock shocks out to oil-filled shocks. So the part numbers for these are, for the front shocks, 12796R, and for the rear shocks is 12797R. I'll be dropping the links for these in the description. They're available on Amazon.com. So check out the links if you're interested in doing this upgrade for yourself. Probably one of the easiest upgrades and one of the cheaper upgrades you can do. So let's get into that. We're going to start with the front shocks. The bottom, not a big deal. They're very accessible, easy to get at. The tops, you can't really get at it too easily. Here's what my suggestion is. This is all you need for this whole project is 2 screwdrivers. Precision Phillips and just a regular Phillips. So we're going to start by taking the hood off here. You really only need to take the first 2 screws out here for this, and I'll show you why. We will be taking the whole hood off so we can have better visibility. And just put the screws aside as you take them out. You don't want to lose them. So really, you could just do that and then flip it up from there, and you're now accessible. If I were to go like this, I'm now accessible to get to that screw on the shock, the top of the shock. But let's just take them all out for the purpose of this video. Alright, let's pull the hood off there. Alright, now that we've got the hood off, you can clearly see we have easy access to the shock mounts at the top. It's going to take a Phillips screwdriver and we're just going to undo the screws there. Alright, so we're going to put the screws aside for this. We won't be reusing them, but we may want to use those shocks again in the future for something, so we have the screws for them. Now we're going to get the bottoms out. The bottoms are very easy to get out. Let's try to get it into shot here. That aside, we'll get the other screw out. Alright, so we've got the 2 stock shocks out now. That was pretty easy, only 4 screws. Now we're going to put the upgraded shocks in. So I'm going to put them in the exact same spots as the original ones were, but you could move them. You can move them down to this lower hole, which will raise you off the ground a bit, or you can move it to the outer hole here, which will lower it. So just keep in mind, you do have some adjustment there in the placement of your shocks. But for this video, we're going to go in the exact same spot as we were before. So we're going to start with the top mount here. We're just going to stick the screw through there, line it up, and start screwing it into the hole there. Don't screw it right tight. Leave a little bit of play on it. Once we get the bottom one in, then we can tighten it up a bit. Alright, so now we're going to do the bottom. I'm just going to start by sticking the screw through the insert here. Line it up. And just start screwing it in. And this time I'm going to snug the bottom up, and we'll snug the top up now. There we go. Alright, so one side is done now. We're going to do the other side, just the exact same thing as we just did. I'll start by sticking that screw right through the hole there. Line it up where we need to screw it in here. And we're just going to start screwing it in. Like I said before, just don't snug it up tight yet. Alright, now the bottom, we're just going to stick it through that little insert there. We're going to line it up with the hole we want to go into, and in this case we're going to the original hole, which was the middle. And we're just going to screw it in. We're going to snug that one up. Then I move back to the top, I snug that up. And that's it, guys. Your front shocks are done. Very easy. Alright guys, so now that we've got the front shocks in, let's put the hood back on. I'd hate to lose the screws, so let's get it back on. And you're just your precision screwdriver again. We have 6 screws to put on. Alright, the front is done. We can now move to the back, and the first thing we have to do to the back is just remove the clips. The 2 clips there, and we'll just fold the body up, and everything is very accessible. All 4 screws, we don't have to do anything else but remove them. So we'll remove them. So same thing on the back as there was on the front, but the back has actually 4 adjustments. We have 4 spots we could put that shock in to raise or lower. We're going to keep it in the original hole, but if you are wanting to play with the height a bit, you could move that to a different hole to either raise it or lower it. We're just going to get this second shock out, and we're nearly done this upgrade, guys. So we're going to hang on to those screws as well, and we're going to put them aside because we may want to use those again in the future for something. Alright, so let's pull out the rear shocks here. Much like the front, same idea for installing. Let's start with the top. Throw my screw through. Line it up. And just start screwing it in. Okay, for the bottom we got this little insert. I just like to run the screw through the insert first. And then I just line it up there. And I start screwing it in. I snug that right up. Then I move back to the top one here. Snug that up. One side's done. Alright, let's do the other side. We'll do the same procedure as we just did. We'll line it up there. We'll get our insert. I'll stick my screw through it first. Stick that through the lower shock. Line it up. And just get it started here. Snug that up. We'll snug that top one up now. We'll drop the body now. Put the clips back in. And there you have it, guys. One of the easiest upgrades you can do to your HBX Protector is a shock upgrade. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to help you. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next one.